You've done everything they told you to do. The affirmations, the visualizations, the constant high vibes only chase. You've written the lists, repeated the mantras, forced the smile even when your heart was trembling, and still, something feels off. It's like you're standing at the edge of a reality that just won't shift, one you can see but can't touch. Every step forward feels like quicksand. Every effort feels like reaching for smoke. You're not failing. You're not broken. You're just holding too tightly. See, control is the ego's favorite disguise for fear. It whispers, if I can manage every detail, nothing will collapse. Promises safety, but secretly builds a cage. Because what you try to control, you separate yourself from. And that separation, that subtle tension in your chest, that clench in your jaw, it tells the quantum field, I don't trust you. You've been taught to manifest through force, to take massive action, to align your thoughts perfectly. But energy doesn't obey commands. It responds to coherence. And coherence can't exist where the body is bracing for impact. So here's the paradox. Control feels like safety, but it's actually the frequency of fear. It keeps your nervous system in survival, your energy in contraction, and your manifestations on pause. What if the universe isn't waiting for more of your effort, but for your exhale? What if letting go, truly letting go, isn't losing power, but returning to it? In this journey, we're going to unlearn the illusion of control. We'll soften the grip. We'll decode how your body, your breath, and your frequency have been whispering the truth all along. That reality begins to reorganize the moment you stop trying to force it. Because manifestation isn't about commanding the field. It's about becoming safe enough to let it meet you. So breathe. You don't have to hold the universe together anymore. It already knows what you asked for. Now, it's waiting for you to trust it enough to receive. Control isn't a mindset. It's a nervous system reflex. It begins quietly, that subtle tightening when life feels unpredictable. That impulse to plan, to fix, to organize, to make sure nothing falls apart. You call it discipline, but beneath it is the same trembling frequency that once whispered, I can't afford for anything to go wrong.
Somewhere along the way, chaos became familiar.
So now, certainty feels like oxygen, and control feels like breathing. Maybe as a child, love came with conditions. Maybe approval meant perfection. Maybe peace existed only when everyone around you was happy, so you learned to monitor everything, even your emotions. That wasn't weakness. That was survival. But now, as you try to manifest, as you step into the role of creator, that same survival coding keeps you in resistance. Because control is the vibration of mistrust. And mistrust tells the universe, I don't feel safe enough to receive. The truth is, control is addictive. It gives you a false sense of power, a temporary calm in the storm. But like any addiction, it's driven by fear of what happens when you stop. When you let go, when you stop refreshing, stop scripting, stop chasing, your mind panics because it equates stillness with danger. It thinks, if I'm not doing something, everything will fall apart. But manifestation isn't built on panic. It's built on presence. Every time you tighten your grip, you reinforce the story that life can't be trusted, that the universe won't catch you unless you're in control, that you have to make it happen. And yet, haven't you noticed? The most miraculous moments of your life came when you stopped trying. The love that arrived when you weren't searching. The opportunity that showed up when you had finally surrendered. The peace that entered when you said, I can't force this anymore. Control numbs intuition. It silences the body's wisdom. It replaces flow with performance. And in doing so, it disconnects you from the quantum rhythm that's always been guiding you. Because the universe doesn't speak the language of control. It speaks the language of coherence. And coherence comes from inner safety, not mental domination. So take a breath. Notice how your body feels when you try to control outcomes. Is there a tightness? A rush? A loop of what-ifs? That's not alignment. That's adrenaline. Your body isn't the enemy. It's the messenger. It's showing you where your frequency still believes it's unsafe to let go. where your energy still tries to earn what's already meant for you. When you start to see control not as a flaw, but as an outdated safety mechanism, everything changes. Because awareness dissolves compulsion. And the moment you can name the addiction, you can begin to release it. Let this next breath be softer. Let it remind you, you are no longer in the environment that required that much vigilance. You are safe enough to stop controlling now. You are safe enough to let life meet you halfway. And maybe, just maybe, the real power you've been searching for has been hiding in the very thing you've been avoiding all along. The art of surrender. The universe is not a vending machine. You don't press a button and get your desire. You are the field that everything responds to. Every thought, every emotion, every breath sends a signal, and the quantum field mirrors it back. Not because it's judging you, but because it's neutral. It simply reflects coherence or chaos. When your body is tight, your mind overanalyzing, your heart braced for impact, you broadcast distortion. A signal filled with static fear disguised as effort. And the field reads it perfectly. They don't feel safe yet. Hold. That's the paradox. The more you try to control the outcome, the more you confirm that you don't trust it. In the field, loyal to your frequency, holds your manifestations at arm's length, waiting for you to relax enough to receive them. Imagine the quantum realm like water. When you thrash, you sink. When you float, the water carries you. The same force that seemed to resist you becomes the one that supports you. But only when you stop fighting it. Control collapses. It's the wave too soon. In quantum physics, observation turns potential into form. But obsession, staring, forcing, needing, turns the observation into interference. You collapse one limited possibility instead of allowing the infinite field to weave something better. That's why miracles happen in surrender. Because surrender keeps the wave open. It says to life, I'm available for what's highest, not just what my fear can imagine. You can think of coherence as harmony when your thoughts, emotions, and nervous system hum the same note. It's like a symphony finally in tune after years of clashing instruments. When coherence is present, the quantum field recognizes the song instantly. That's when synchronicities rush in, opportunities align, people appear at impossible timing. Science calls it resonance. Spirit calls it faith. Your body calls it peace. Control disrupts that harmony. It sends mixed frequencies, wanting and doubting, forcing and fearing. It's like trying to tune a violin while someone's screaming directions in your ear. The sound can't stabilize. But when you let go, even for a moment, the noise quiets. The field can finally hear the melody of your true desire. And the reality that matches it begins to form. It's not about thinking positive. It's about vibrating honest. Because authenticity creates coherence. When you stop pretending to be calm and actually breathe into the chaos, your energy starts telling the truth. And the field always responds to truth. So the next time you feel yourself spiraling, trying to control, trying to fix, pause. Place a hand on your heart. Whisper, I'm safe to not know. That single phrase opens infinite possibilities. Because the moment you stop forcing, you stop collapsing the wave prematurely. You let the quantum field do what it's designed to do, reorganize around your vibration, not your effort. The paradox is sacred. You create not by controlling reality, but by becoming coherent enough for reality to flow through you. That's why manifestation isn't magic. It's physics wrapped in faith. You are both the observer and the observed, the signal and the receiver. And when control finally dissolves, you don't lose direction. You become direction itself. At the core of every attempt to control is one quiet belief. If I don't hold it together, I'll lose everything. That's not arrogance. That's heartbreak wearing armor. Control isn't a strategy of power. It's a symptom of lack. A way the nervous system says, I don't feel safe to receive unless I'm in charge. Every time you micromanage your manifestation, checking the clock, rereading your journal, asking the universe when, how, and why not yet, you're not manifesting. You're rehearsing fear. In the quantum field, ever faithful to your signal, mirrors that fear as delay, because in energy, lack doesn't mean not enough money or love. Lack is a frequency of absence. It's the feeling of separation. But here's the hidden truth. The energy of I must make it happen is the same vibration as it's not happening. Different costume, same frequency. Your body knows this before your mind does. Notice what happens when you start forcing things. The jaw tightens, the breath shortens, the chest becomes heavy, the shoulders tense. That's not high vibration. That's survival mode. And survival mode doesn't manifest miracles. It manifests safety loops, realities that keep matching your need to control. When your nervous system is dysregulated, can't tell the difference between manifestation and danger. It just feels the rush of uncertainty and prepares for loss. So it shuts down flow. It protects instead of expands. This is why surrender isn't passive. It's neurological reprogramming. It's telling your body, we're safe now. We can open again. Because when you truly feel safe, you no longer need to control. And when control fades, receiving begins. Think about sunlight through water. When the surface is calm, the light penetrates deep. When the surface is chaotic, everything distorts. Your energy works the same way. Peace allows abundance to reach you. Tension refracts it away. Control says, I'll relax when it happens. Trust says, it happens when I relax. This is the great inversion, the secret most people never embody. Because surrender isn't about giving up. It's about giving space. Space for the field to deliver, for timing to align, for destiny to breathe. When you loosen your grip, you don't lose power. You make room for power to flow through you. When you stop proving, you start receiving. And the most magnetic energy in the universe is not control. It's safety. Because safety signals abundance. A body that feels safe says to the field, I have enough. I am enough. I expect goodness. And the field rearranges to match that expectation. So the next time you feel that familiar urge to push, to plan, to fix, pause, breathe deep into your belly. Ask yourself, what story am I telling energy right now? If the answer is, I'm afraid, then compassion is your only correction. You don't need to vibrate higher. You need to feel safer. Because safety is the frequency of abundance. Control is a symptom. Lack is the signal. But safety is the cure. Surrender isn't weakness. It's neural alchemy. It's the body's quiet way of saying, I am safe enough to stop fighting the flow. Every moment of control is a conversation between your mind and your nervous system. Your thoughts say, I have to make it happen. Your body whispers, I don't feel safe if I'm not in charge. And that tension becomes a broadcast. A low hum of resistance the quantum field always hears. When you surrender, you're not doing nothing. You're retuning that hum. You're teaching your cells a new song, one that vibrates with coherence, trust, and safety. Let's get scientific for a moment. When you grip, strive, and overanalyze your sympathetic nervous system, your fight or flight takes the lead. Your heart rate quickens, cortisol spikes, and your electromagnetic field becomes jagged, chaotic, unpredictable. It's like static on a radio. The signal of desire can't transmit clearly. But when you exhale, really exhale, something extraordinary happens. Your parasympathetic system activates. Your breath slows. Your heart rate synchronizes with your brain waves. And coherence begins. That sacred harmony where mind, body, and field move as one. In coherence. You become a tuning fork for miracles. Your vibration stabilizes. You stop chasing outcomes because the body finally believes we are safe in the having. And when the body feels safe, the quantum field responds instantly. Why? Because safety is the most magnetic signal in existence. It means your energy is open, not leaking, not bracing, not doubting. It says to the field, we are ready to hold what we've asked for. That's the true science of surrender. It's not metaphysical luck. It's physics, meeting biology. Your heart emits an electromagnetic field thousands of times stronger than your brain's. Every emotion reshapes that field. When you're anxious or desperate, your heart's field becomes erratic, sending mixed messages to reality. But when you surrender, when you drop into gratitude, stillness, presence, the field smooths out. It becomes laser-focused. And what was once blocked begins to appear effortlessly, because the quantum doesn't respond to what you think. It responds to what you are. When you are coherent, aligned in thought, motion, and body, your signal becomes irresistible. Think of it this way. Manifestation isn't about sending a wish to the universe. It's about becoming a frequency the universe can locate. Surrender is how you stop scattering that frequency. It's how you become still enough for energy to find you. But here's the paradox that trips. So many seekers, you cannot surrender for the sake of control. You cannot exhale to manipulate timing. The body knows the difference. The field knows the difference. True surrender means this: I trust the timing more than I trust my fear. And that kind of trust rewires everything. It reshapes your biochemistry. It repairs the body's stress circuitry. It dissolves the belief that safety only comes from certainty. When you surrender daily through breath awareness and nervous system safety, you're not just manifesting, you're reprogramming your field of potential. In those moments when your mind wants to grab the reins again, you can whisper, I release my need to know. I choose to feel safe in the not knowing. That's how timelines collapse. That's how miracles slip through the cracks. Not through more effort, but through deeper coherence. Because surrender doesn't remove action. It removes friction. And when friction fades, flow begins. So the next time life pauses, when the dream delays, when nothing moves, don't tighten. Don't fight. That pause isn't punishment. It's preparation. It's life sinking to your new frequency. And when the moment comes, you'll see it clearly, the reality that was waiting just beyond your need to control. The more you surrender, the more reality reorganizes around your peace. Because peace is the signature of alignment. And alignment is manifestation in motion. Your body has been keeping score. Every disappointment, every loss, every time you tried to trust and were met with chaos, your nervous system remembered. That's why control feels safer than surrender. Because somewhere deep inside, your body decided safety lives in vigilance. You didn't choose that. Your body did to protect you. But protection, when overused, becomes prison. And what once kept you safe now keeps you small. Repatterning your nervous system is how you rewrite that story. It's how you teach your body a new truth, that safety doesn't come from control. It comes from coherence. Let's start here. The nervous system has two main states: survival and regulation. When you're in survival, your energy tightens. You overthink. You micromanage. You hold your breath. You manifest from defense, not from creation. But when you regulate, when your body feels safe, your energy expands. Your breath deepens. Your intuition becomes louder than your fear. You stop reacting and start allowing. This is not philosophy. It's physics. Because the nervous system is the bridge between your biology and your field. It's how the quantum communicates with your consciousness. When your nervous system is tense, the signal to the field says, I'm not safe yet. And the field, in perfect neutrality, mirrors that truth back. You don't attract chaos, you simply recreate familiar frequencies. So how do we repattern it? How do we teach the body that safety can exist, even in the unknown? Through presence, through breath, through gentle, repeated doses of safety. Over time, these small practices rewire your baseline. You shift from bracing for impact to breathing in trust. Your nervous system becomes a sanctuary instead of a battlefield. This is the invisible work behind every visible manifestation. You don't attract what you want, you attract what your body believes is safe to hold. If your nervous system still associates success with stress, love with loss, or abundance with overwork, you'll unconsciously push away what you desire. Repatterning means showing your body that it can receive without fear. That ease is not laziness. That surrender is not danger. That peace can coexist with power. And here's the miracle. Once your body learns safety, your mind stops spiraling. Your energy stops leaking. You stop needing proof because you feel the proof already inside you. This is embodiment. Not thinking safety, but feeling it. Not talking alignment, but being it, and the field listens. It always does, because when your heart rhythm steadies, when your breath synchronizes with your intention, when your system hums in harmony, the quantum hears. She's ready. He's aligned. They can hold what they've asked for. That's when manifestation accelerates, not because you did more, but because you finally became still enough to receive. So if you want to manifest faster, start here. Teach your body to relax in the pause. Because manifestation isn't about the future. It's about frequency now. It's not about chasing what you want. It's about becoming the version of you who already lives inside it. You see, identity is the true engine of your reality. The subconscious doesn't follow your goals. It follows your self-image. If your identity is still coded in lack, in waiting, in hoping, you'll keep vibrating at almost there. And the quantum, in its perfect neutrality, keeps reflecting that version back to you. But the moment you shift, identity from the one who's trying to the one who already is, your frequency reality reorders itself around your new signal. This is not pretending. It's pre-creating, because the field doesn't differentiate between imagination and memory. It only mirrors coherence. So when your body feels like the version of you who has it, the field collapses probability into presence. That's quantum identity embodiment. Let's make this real. Close your eyes for a moment. Imagine the version of you who already has the thing you're calling in: the peace, the love, the abundance, the alignment. Notice how they move. Notice how they breathe, how their shoulders rest lower, how their eyes soften because there's no more fight in them. That version of you doesn't hope. They know. They're not chasing alignment. They are alignment. They're not manifesting. They're expressing what's already true, and the only thing between you and that version is nervous system. Permission identity shifting isn't about affirmations. It's about energetic rehearsal. It's practicing the feeling of already having. Until your cells believe it's real, your brain's reticular activating system RAS, the filter of perception, starts scanning for evidence that matches your new self-image. That's how new timelines open. Your inner frequency changes the outer lens. So when you say, "I am the one who already lives in ease," your body believes it. Life begins rearranging to validate that truth. Here's the paradox. You don't manifest by waiting for proof. You become the proof. You don't need to convince the field. You only need to convince your own biology. This is how quantum embodiment works. The body becomes the evidence before the mind sees it. And when your frequency stabilizes in that identity, the field locks in resonance. You've shifted from wanting to being. But this shift isn't mental, it's somatic. So let's anchor it right now. Place your hand on your chest. Breathe in slowly. Whisper, "It's already done." Feel that truth land in your body, not just your mind. This is the energy of having, not craving, not chasing. Having, the mind might argue, "But I can't see it yet." And you can smile because the body already knows it's coming. That's faith made physical. Identity work is nervous system work. Because when you become the energy of having, you stop leaking your power through doubt. You stop signaling almost. Signal arrival. From that state, choices shift naturally. You start eating, speaking, creating, resting like someone who trusts their timing. Opportunities align not because you forced them, because your frequency became consistent. That's what embodiment means. It's not about holding an image. It's about inhabiting one. It's walking through your life as the vibration of the result. The more you practice this identity, the less you chase external proof. You become the evidence that you once searched for. And that's when reality bends, when the quantum field can finally recognize you, because it was never waiting to give you what you wanted. It was waiting for you to become recognizable to it. So today, let the old identity fall away. The one who hustled for worth, who tried to earn flow, who thought safety came from control. You've outgrown that frequency. Now walk as the one who already has it. Let your breath carry that truth. Let your heart broadcast that safety. Let your energy whisper to the field, I am already here. In reality, obedient as ever, will rearrange itself to meet you there.